Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning, beautiful day. Today at July 10th, 2023. Today at July 10th, 2023. Before I say anything, let me make sure, say, first of all, I'll let everybody know exactly who that we get now today. Of course, come Koita as usual. Hopefully, Catchbox will join me later. I did the board them when I know I can do. And then we get with brother Lawyer Wuri. We're based in London. And also is part of the Concerned Citizens Sierra Leone. We're based in the United Kingdom. So, of course, when I don't see a flyer, if you don't see the flyer yet, July 17th, then they organize a protest. This is a peaceful protest. It is a non politically based kind of protest. It's not about APC or SLPP. Let me make this very clear because there are lots of Sierra Leoneans, regardless of political parties. We're not happy with the way the electioneering process go. And a lot of these people don't come out and say, you know what, enough for be this way. Let people and win elections the right way without loss, saying loss. And when I don't say the concerned citizens of Sierra Leone, we based in the United Kingdom. Of course, these are people we always done the, move these, political and then these kinds of movements forward for make sure say they protect democracy and the rights of citizens in Sierra Leone and worldwide as a whole. But we know say over the past few years we don't see the kind of abuse of human rights violations and then they don't reach to the peak now where the SLPP feel say in as much as they don't take advantage of the citizens for so long. Then feel say now you don't reach the point where even the voice of the people no matter again. Where the only opportunity where the citizens can get now for let them go out and vote and let them vote speak up. And we'll all see how the people of Sierra Leone come out and say, you know what, this particular time here, so they involve inside this with democracy. Yeah. Will they watch out at the country we vote them? Will they pay attention to every detail? And we see say even when the people do that, few misguided elements within the SLPP, including the chairman of the ECSL thinks they get what it take for just override the voices of the people. They feel so they live in the times of Stalin, like Russia, where you say those who vote have nothing to do with it. It's those that count that matters. Comrade I know that adage properly very well. But at the end of the day,
you say those who vote decide nothing, those who can't decide everything. So
exactly.
Ibrahim, that's me could tell in this station as I don't say now those who vote decide everything. I mean they say democracy.
Yeah.
Ibrahim, let this and day, not to be democracy world we live. Ibrahim, elections been done day before this time, but it was not democratically elected election because it was not the will of the people. That means the people that look at we need to forget democracy. Now people them vote for count. Not to say whether they vote, no, they decide nothing. Why would they vote for Ibrahim if that is the case?
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, Kashi don't join with us. So Kashi, you're welcome. We just begin. We'll not go fire itself. We're about 2 minutes in. So right timing, my brother. So absolutely. So how the Monday morning, Kashi? I hope so the Monday morning okay with you there. How is it? The body
Yeah,
okay?
start of the week.
Okay.
Trying to get along
Yes.
and get ready. It's like the Kickstarter, isn't it, for the week Monday?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes, yes. Kashi comrade and brother Lawyer Wuri, over the years, we don't see how this past 5 years, yeah, we country has been rigged with turmoil, confusion, pandemonium, wahala, all kind, everything we can think about, since the presidency of Marabio, the abuses of people and rights, them basic fundamental human rights, get organizations there where they sponsor, these governments, we make them feel, say, they always get for use up, say, MCC, we pass MCC, look, we now. Now we do lives and broadcast them. They educate people about the MCC. We ask tough questions about the MCC. All of these things. Say, boy, MCC, boy. Who say them are the past civil liberties? Una see them go massacre people in a Makini because of generator. Una see them go massacre people in a Paremba prisons because of, waiting and say the prisoners then stand up for their right just because they get political prisoners then like come recruit them. When they want to go kill that Paremba road day. But God make them did it like it today. You see, these are all the things what they say. You talk about Lonsar, Tombo, all of that, the human rights abuses across the country. And this was the same thing where they say, hey, opposition, they are there to protect our people. What they say across the world, opposition doing their jobs. When they wait, stay, pass waiting on common, I don't reach like I don't reach so. Now they tell you, go say you are for can't take action. No. We say not condone unconstitutionality, not condone illegality. When something wrong at the moment, that is where you stand up and say this not for happen again. In a country where they go kill people and force them McKinney for generator, in a country and they want to force don't allow them more people lost their lives. The Paremba Road prison massacre, the Tombo, the Lonsar, all of that. We see what's they happen across the country. The opposition leaders, them sit in that country. These are all the things what they say. Because again, Marabi not destroy the lives of Sierra Leoneans by himself, like because they condone them. If not to people like the concerned citizens, them United Kingdom, where they stand up over the years, they write paper them. I don't know if Sierra Leoneans they don't know anything there, Lawyer Wuri. the amount of paper they wanna don't write, the articles, the publications they wanna don't do, just for detail the human rights abuses and everything we don't go on at the country. Because a lot of the population don't they read as much. Now, pass you do small video, you do WhatsApp, you Allah, you make noise, then go hear you. But then write up, then stuff, then they see them. But these are all the things, those are all the efforts we like when I don't make over the years for make sure say the world knows exactly what's in the happen in our country. It is wrong.
And then additionally to that, we talk so. I already then let alone the right, somebody who in a jail, that engage the attention of the British government, really, the British Council in the DCC in a weekly basis for check about well-being after the Tarimba Road massacre April 29. Because of the pressure where they put there, the British ambassador sends them to consulate every week and they go visit me for check well-being. Now that means we can get small British space inside the jail because I tell you, before that the pressure there, we know exactly what would be good for. Although it will not be easy, but at least that will give some amount of fear because I know say the British government they go visit we, then they talk to we, then they call Palo, then they go there, they check. So that will make them get life. That tells the situation of we. They good look they do, the church we own, they help you at the prison. Imagine in 10 days a day. So like me, I will not ever doubt people when they always talk say, not to know more they talk, not to know more they do okay. People they don't do it on the right and the right because don't know who can talk. So that's one in the list is on the share this year. So then working on the over the years, these are the best time when at the test of them work because if I'm going to talk for people and now that the democracy is talk for Ibrahim, the life of Sierra Leone. Salone, no even knows in a life support machine. They feel we the life support machine, they feel different dog. And only the feel dog inside machine, we are the deposit in British space, what's in that day, that die, the deposit die. Salone in the batch for like die. Now make the non-come back say they need to make a protest like UK when they colonize Salone, let them know say at the stage of Salone on this way die.
Absolutely. When I listen to that attentively, Comrade Kocha say the pressure of lawyer Wuri them in the United Kingdom, and also the pressure of the opposition leaders at the time in the country where, some of these guys like the Paolo Conte belong to the APC party, say them pressure. It's sad for the country when people that get their responsibilities, they relict them, and then the citizens they will hold their accountable, not for hold their accountable. But anyways, you see, like what do you want for tell you, thank you.
If I say, let me just go like the point you just raised. You see this all reliance on the international community. It don't annoy me now. This talk, it don't really they annoy me.
I agree.
You see, Ibrahim, if the international community, why is it that the UK, these developed nations, them, they always cry for? You don't ever hear America they talk about the international community.
No.
I mean, the best they can do, like now the lawyers and the courts, like the international standards them and laws them, where they all don't sign into.
Absolutely.
You always they call on the institutions. It right? If all international community say it only really get on me nerves. Because until we get with institutions and for function the way they should, let me forget, look over the years, we don't tell people and say, be careful. We are too much reliant on this international community. Before they face. Now they rig elections to Ibrahim. Absolutely. But one thing where Agladi, now the way like the kind of like resurgence of like the people's will. It's basically the thing where I'm very, very upbeat about Ibrahim. Even though we are not there yet, because like still a section of people and the way they rely on themselves. And this is the reason we make like the organizations like Concerned Sierra Leoneans, we supposed to promote these their tool they are now because it looks like I say like the people in need of force the leaders them. And this is the reason why we always talk about representatives, parliamentarians. They are representatives, Ibrahim. If they want we create like a pandemonium the parliament, 7.5 million, all of us could have represented ourselves. And then they cause noise. Yep. Ibrahim. But we get representatives them for a reason. Absolutely. We tell them waiting for do. And this is the annoying thing. How can you be telling me when we get court system, instead of like we get proper court system, like the stupid about to the end was still justice, we're supposed for like they make sure say it check the laws and of Salon. Now, how we hope and trust they inside the international community. Does it make sense, Ibrahim?
Not at all. Not at all. And this is the thing what we say, and I think it's time we get for shed more light on this nonsense international community.
The reason why people with me, I always say with people because of the thing before who call to the man will get the show.
Yes.
Even if you begin the lost confidence over you. So God that the neighbor, if you see them they run after if you not like who's the wrong go to neighbor post, you don't know say Papa will protect her any longer.
Yeah.
If not, if they run after me, who's they run for good Ibrahim? I mean Papa will say that they go. If you say I left me, I was going to neighbor, I was something that they tell you. See, I don't believe in Papa will protect me. So it is say the mentality of we going to this level now. Ibrahim, if the Papa necessarily they say they go to the neighbor for letting the neighbor first, for what thing they begin they do. There is mentality will go for fights, but it will take time. For today, you know, what's our problem now for today? Now the fight against constant coup d'etat. The problem with constant coup d'etat to me was fast political. When it's cooker, when I pass the couple is no one time. We sit on 9 months, woman. Every time is no one time. But now, the constant coup d'etat, now in the most dangerous way to make Africa do say this so, Salon do say this so today.
Absolutely.
Now it would fight against, and that fight is a fight will go for fight would brutal way for end up. You know, to fight will fight with Ben, fight will be very brutal because people for pay the price for faith, for even for they don't even get respect for feeling for that they don't die during this war.
Nope.
They don't rape, when they cut people in hands, even for democracy. You know, if I'm going to look at those stories.
I just want to shed light on something when you say this now. Before you know when you talk about lawyer who will come in inside. You make one point when you say, you know, coup d'etat, constitutional coup d'etat is worse than military coup d'etat. And I totally get it. I believe that. Let me take like a basket case or a case now like Guinea. You see, coup d'etat go happen, military coup d'etat go happen. Like waiting people will say that democracy don't die. But the military can bring about confidence in the country. But when constitutional coup d'etat happen, Ibrahim, it kill the constitution and it also they kill confidence.
Absolutely.
So I totally agree with you, comrade.
Absolutely.
So let me realistic with the pattern. Because when you look at the war, remember it's so sad like people also say na blood diamond. Salo not to diamond make a pet war. Now political crisis, then here with that epidemic pet war. Even the story where they write so this somewhere they say blood diamond. They grab for diamond pet war as Salo on a political crisis. Now then to that epidemic work as Salo. So you know for no hold the case much for our own brand. In our level, I always say we on platform we always say we support legal matters. So we say Salo. Which of course you know, and one person with the follow self together. We see the protest, you not get time. No time not the way late or no time not the way and the protest are for reason and because. So whatsoever protest, when a legal protest for challenge illegality, we open to for supporters. And each and every scenario we see, you will not alone to that is one which is alone, we see, you know, it's alone not in a direct trajectory, alone in a point for like die. You for support this protest here because they are who they go protest to. Now then get the country. Now then our colonial masters and has to be directly. Now they see the people of Syria do not have to take that alone to do.
Absolutely.
So like, would you welcome at the show?
Yeah, thank you very much, my brothers. Una don't really do well, but however, I would just want for use this opportunity for communicate to with people in Sierra Leone, so and around the world. My fellow Sierra Leoneans, we are concerned Sierra Leoneans. We are all based in the United Kingdom. So the organization itself, Concerned Sierra Leoneans, is non-political, it's non-partisan as well. So we are with the people of Sierra Leone and we extend we sincere solidarity based on waiting then don't go to currently in the country. They encourage and support you in this time of constitutional crisis in Sierra Leone after the June 24 multi-tier elections. So I will come to the issue of constitutional crisis later. Why I go therefore justify the reason why I allude to that. So we urge the international community for work with we as we don't already provide a roadmap for peace and stability for Sierra Leone. I will come to that as well because that is part of the protest why we are marching to the UK government and parliament to hand deliver we petition during possibly their question time or any other engagement. We fellow Sierra Leoneans them for no say. They are not alone in this time of political victimization or instability, as you like. We don't note with concerns as concerned Sierra Leoneans that that is the reason why they organize this protest on the 17th of July 2023 for march from the Metropolitan Tabernacle of Elephants and Castle to the UK House of Parliament for, as I say earlier, and deliver a petition to Parliament with a call for an engagement with the relevant parties that concern the political parties, to be specific, and the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone for reconduct the elections again, amongst many other recommendations them we don't actually put into that document. Because the key reason for that is that we want peace, we want calm, we want stability, we want prosperity and freedom in the country again, as most of them things they are no currently they reflect the status quo. So as I say, we don't draft a consultation paper titled The Roadmap to Peace and Stability, which we intend to use in tandem with our moral guarantors for finding a peaceful resolution of the present constitutional crisis. Now, many listeners then go on and say, what does it mean when we refer to a constitutional crisis? Well, for just elaborate a bit on that, or for expound a bit on that, constitutional crisis under the political science is like a problem or a conflict in the function of a government, where either based on the political constitution or the fundamental laws, some things then perceived as unable to be resolved, like currently what we have, the elections results, where the people charged with the onus of, like you get football match, you get the linesman, you get the referee, neck will be alluded here as the referee, but the linesman will say foul done committed, na penalty, the ref no one for actually pay attention to that, and not even one for use the VAR, and no one for do anything, and just go ahead and make a own proclamation. So in that, ultimately, there is a constitutional crisis there, because the opposition now, they refuse. And we not they look at the side of the opposition, we not they look at the side of the government, we don't look at the side of we own people, waiting the people they say. The people are now, they say, a lot of outcry, they say they're not accept to the result, waiting and vote for not when actually then get. So because we are the protectors of the constitution of Sierra Leone, as citizens, ordinary citizens, we they call on the people that we matter for talk to the government and the parties concerned, well, let's do something about this. So that is why we developed this document, and the etymology of all of them problems there is stem from not to today this don't begin. In fact, if I can take you back to the constitution first, even before we get the independence in 1961, that was in April and May in 1960, when Milton Magai lead a delegation from Sierra Leone for arrange for an independence from the British, and then discuss new way for government, how the government will be structured. So the agreements will then be reached with the UK government for let we get the independence in 1961. A paper be the way then be provided when at the Westminster model. So some of we don't get access to that, and we know what are the provisions in that, and that is why we had this roadmap where they reflect some of those things, and also in make use of a research we don't conduct from the past African countries, like Kenya, for example. Waiting happen at Kenya. Recently, we know say elections be take place there, but the people that feel say the election result it not be correct actually. So waiting the government do, the Kenya Supreme Court they invalidate the results of the election because the elections were considered to be contentious. So in order a re-election, we within 60 days rather, we then be able to do that, and that will happen in August 8th. So not so that no more. It don't happen as well in Malawi. So we have a lot of other things them where we do research on, where get similar situation to waiting to happen now in Sierra Leone, and we don't find a way forward for how to resolve that. So the protest is going to be a very peaceful, beautiful protest. We are in with the highlights, we concerns as concerned Sierra Leoneans for the people of Sierra Leone. And the people of Sierra Leone make up of SLPP, a make up of APC, a make up of all other people that are citizens and also residents of Sierra Leone. So at this point, I will stop here first. Get waiting the way forward.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think the watchword is what we seek for, brother lawyer Wuri. Let me make them clear. We want a rerun of the elections. Is that the demand? We want an interim government. What are some of the specific, like bullet points that we stick with? If you, I know so you don't expound on the bigger picture, but like the key demands. Is it we're seeking a rerun? What are we seeking again? If you can just break down in the dong for people and forget and slogan them. So we might want to put the banners together and get the key points on it right.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, sir, I get you.
Yeah. So in terms of what they ask for, there are a lot of things that we actually put in currently the petition. I don't know if you don't get access to the petition where we published recently. There are a lot of recommendations we make within that document there. So we, among many other things, now engagement force we want for lady, because now the situation is that no international or no recognizable country where now we are moral guarantors they no even congratulate the person we emerge as victorious, alleged victorious in these concluded elections, without now an international embarrassment for we country, to be specific. So firstly, we want for safe face for we country. We need international engagement. That is the key moral guarantors of Sierra Leone. When at the UK, we need the parliament for able for extend an olive branch to the current government for see how they go able to engage them with regards to the outcome of the election first, because we cannot allow, the reason why we emphasize on that, if we allow this situation for deteriorate to the level we will not expect to country, people and then go suffer. And we no go want for let Sierra Leone become too difficult for the, we know so don't go through a lot over the years. If we allow the situation escalates, then it's like Sierra Leone will really and go decline to a level where we not expect, and we not go want that. So a quick engagement with the government for let we get the way forward. Then there are other things as well where then now alternative measures we'll put within the petition. But we'll advise Sierra Leoneans the let them try for read the concerned Sierra Leonean petition where they out where not to the UK government we did hand deliver for made them know. We highlight most of what happened during the elections and the feedback or the report from new when at the national is it the National Electoral Ward or the election ward? Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, just do, I believe, say, actually state it, because the old protest, like, I mean, the date, Ibrahim, I'm not sure if you mentioned in your opening, the date and outside people in the meetup, we could talk at the end as well, but, outside of people in the listening, sometimes they can listen first, they left out, so it will finally be, like, the crucial timing of it, like, in other words, like, the time and also the meeting point. Maybe if we say, now and then before we begin delve into like other things anyway.
Yeah. So the date of the protest is on the 17th of July 2023, and the place where everybody for converge or meet up na Metropolitan Tabernacle of Elephant and Castle. The meeting time na 9:30 to 10 a.m. Go for march from that point to the House of Parliament. We would already establish contact for like hand deliver the documents to the Prime Minister, most likely, and also the Foreign Secretary, Rishi Sunak and that of James Cleverly. So yes.
Right.
So
Thank you. So it's the 17th, and the Tabernacle Church, right in front of Elephant and Castle Station, the other side of Elephant and Castle Station, because now two exits and entrance in Elephant and Castle.
Yeah.
It is the one just by the church anyway. You know, crucially, like you make mention of some, you know, like cases then, you know, like precedences then we don't actually happen like in an overturn of an election. You know, Salon people, we been for far too long. We don't believe say the state of Kona Salon. When once they don't announce the results, it is difficult for make like the reversal. The question where I really was asking, because this is not supposed to be like a motivating thing to every Sierra Leonean. What would you say to them to tell them that there is hope that it will be overturned? They will say, oh, but Kenya, you know, I mean, Kenya, the judiciary is independent enough. I mean, we don't Babatunde Edwards like the Chief Justice. I mean, it didn't matter in pockets. I mean, we own police and all that in the day. And then you mentioned about, what's the country again when you mentioned? Is it? What's the country again we overturned?
Yeah. Malawi.
So
Malawi and Kenya.
Thank you. So what really you feel say could be this motivating thing? We go give reason for people and for come out and say it is absolutely possible because it is the wrong thing. Because Salomon will just merely say, wait, it don't be bad, it don't be bad. We didn't even reverse it again. Lawyer Uri.
yes, sir. So the catchphrase here is the word peace. You know, now peace. Now we all want in that country. We want peace because if otherwise we have a political standoff, then there is not going to be peace. For instance, look what happened not to just Malawi and even Kenya. Even though in Malawi the constitutional crisis we occurred that started was in 2012. You know, with the succession of Binguwa Mutharika. You know, where the president and the vice president, they all come up from different parties and therefore get away for succeed and for make sure say that move on. But the closest example from Sierra Leone actually is the Gambia, following the victory of Adama Barrow in the 2016 presidential elections, where we all below President Yahya Jammeh they reject the results. You know, he refused and say no, in be don't win the election. And we all know say President Yahya Jammeh na be a very, very, very powerful man, you know. But what happened on the 17th of January, he declared a 90-day state of emergency, you know, at that time, and a attempt for extend in office. But we get people from the Senegalese, Ghanaian, and Nigerian forces. We decide for enter Gambia on the 19th of January for enforce the election result for sure say Mr. Adama Barrow win the election. So in order began no alternative on the 21st of January. In began for step down and in run away from in country or in go seek refuge from. Yes, from another place. So waiting me for say to me compatriots Sierra Leoneans is that nobody not lose hope. Even to Madabio, we they tell you not lose hope. Like if you know that the people love you, and also Dr. Samura Kamala, if you know say people love una stick onto this point, make we get this thing be resolved once and for all by a rerun of the elections, because that was the projection of new that there is going to be a runoff. And if that is the case, looking at the PRDT model where the methodology being used, and myself don't actually do a research on that, and I know say the methodology has been used in over 50 countries in the world. I think some 10 to 12 countries in Africa. So, I mean, it's a tried and proven and worthy model and methodology. So that's why make we self be the wait, in fact, for react to all this, because we're waiting to see if NEC will have been able to rectify this conundrum now we don't happen, in the sense that now they ask the NEC, for publish the provisional results or the results from the provinces, right? By polling stations. Right. And that could have clarified the doubts where because in any methodology you might have flaws. So that could have exposed the flaw of the methodology used by new. But if they refuse to do that, that means new are on the right track. So looking at that, when we even they do the research for draft the roadmap for the people of Sierra Leone, we look at all the outcome of some of them countries there where they don't get them kind of situation there. We look at the key thing was that the only difference is that their institutions are very strong institutions. For instance, like the courts. There are checks and balances in some of these countries, wherein other organs of government, they hold the other one responsible. There are checks. In Sierra Leone currently, there are evidence based on many things that we don't happen. Say the judiciary is, I hate for say the word compromise, but maybe you guys will allude or will confirm something along those lines. But to say that if the matter is taken to court, it might be settled there and then, but it's difficult to say because there are many reasons: intimidation of opponents, the integrity crisis, among many other things that we contemplate on. That is why we are rather taking this step for engage the UK Parliament for set up a committee for oversee what will happen in the near future.
Absolutely. Great point. But of course, we all know, say, when you look at the judiciary, again, it's the same judiciary that was used, for make sure, say, they implement the proportional representation system, of course, with the help of Parliament as well, because you even know, say, the Parliament then pass on a Parliament, and we know nobody cry foul inside Parliament from all of the opposition side and all of that stuff, and then go, like how Comrade Kiputa say, they use, legitimate way for sort of clarify an illegitimate action. They use legitimate means for bring that PR system, using the judiciary as a legitimate source. But anyways, so these are all the things we say. But I think, say, if anything, like how Cashbox asks, it's very crucial. Una we sabi, una we the London, una know, sign the Elephant and Castle, the gathering point, about 9:30 or so. Hopefully I'm correct. 9:30 to 10 o'clock. At the gathering point, and then
the beautiful things in this thing. You coming out, you get 2 things. You don't contribute to see myself as the part of the one that we contribute for law makes us see the health in happiness alone. We know they come for see, people don't know who come out for talk see, well, we know they force the British government, or they put a position very clear and show them, like I always say, the road map. What's in the implications behind what's not happening, so what's in there for the aftermath, what's in there, the disadvantage and advantage, what's in there for happen. Also, we don't come out why this thing not happen. If you said commodity, let your voice be heard. We talk about the silent majority. This time, I can respect everybody to go and show you the satisfaction. If you feel that somebody will see, to post you in, you need to think for yourself. If you think, say Salone is heading for for the worst, you don't let the worst happen. All those things happen at Salone over the years for fight war, get Ebola, and so many things. Then, but we see the replica of what's happening. When people are under cost, not magic. How's in the morning? They say like zero, not magic. We don't want to go back to these days of the 1998-99 era when they get to come born people and cut people. And we want to go to that days of 1991 to fight political crisis. We want to stop like come out to support the protest. Make your voice be heard. Maybe because the more they see, they can say, Sierra Leone has put home and abroad. We go there and sit down. So they don't get opportunity for come out because all of to happen them. If they go kill people in that party office, they kill people in that prison, they kill people for generator. Imagine now when the man don't impose themselves. Like for me, I get a very clear the judiciary as alone, not to compromise. Compromise around that statement. And it's talk and say the sharing for the possible itself for being lawyer as alone at this time. The whole story we that the main cause for the war. They say the judiciary and the police are not something happen. But then Chief Justice go swear the president where the result get problem. They go Ibrahim. Read the SSF or let the fatam. Let people know the already there. You destroy the president when the opposition not agree, then the observers both local and observers say the election, nobody will win and if we win into runoff. It will go swine. In terms of the title, the judiciary not to compromise. Compromise is another statement, Ibrahim. Not to compromise. Now, each and every state institution as Salon Ibrahim don't become reckless because they don't become reckless of their duties. Not to the judiciary, not to the police, not to NEC, not to the PPRC. Each and every state institution, I can remember this year, audio will leak when they make it in ONS, where they get the judiciary, they get the police, they get the military, they get PPRC. When the NEC man talks in, then they conduct the election, then call results to the people call, then they left the rest to the civil sector. We see what's happening. Just after the 24th, they will kill that woman at APC office. So that tells you, see, they are not serving. You know, they need to go according to the go to their team. So this protest, now a beginning for next year, now cut across the world. I don't say the UK will set an example where I believe say America will follow suit. Each and every partner in the world also get who say will get people who they influence us alone. The EU who is a Belgium that headquarters for the first Canadian. This actually matter whether for go now. Each and every doorstep, be it Germany, any partner don't let us see. We will not accept this result, not to just Stanley resolve this, but say those who will decide nothing, those who can't decide everything. This time around, democracy is for the people of Ibrahim. Yeah. If you don't, I don't know who's not just say 10 years, you come out, you are 10 years, you have. Madam, shameless to talk say, you fight for democracy. Now, topic that we only mix up and this year. If you fight for democracy, it's okay, say, people get right for commot for challenge the democracy we don't pay for. If you have the right for exercise, I believe, say, it's an everything like now the UK. That one day, Monday the 17th, if 90 day, if you think about the job, for voting for safe salon democracy, for save the crisis, we salon the salon the crisis, if every person get election, the all over the world, they log the congratulatory. Now the government they force policy for congratulatory by force, Ego Ibrahim. You know that telling you the level of country. Right now, as far as we concerned, salon will not be cut off from the rest of the world. The sorry for thing by this thing. The one that the perpetrators also they feel this pain because they need to buy fear, they need to buy rest, they need to buy the state and they feed them back. Man, I do like the state they feed them, like the state I would say the Italian guy outside the state, and they get for drive. The ministers, them, the head of the police, the military, the neck, them all like the state they feed them, then the family. The poor man they suffer. So when the poor man suffer, I offer telling this year, we will say no to this state because it's a bad example.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, Comrade and Kashi, we already talk so all. You remember when Kashi make a point earlier on where they mentioned, said, we don't tie with this international. You know, the other aspect of this, you know, people like Lawyer Wuridem and others, where they are not legally, you know, they are not representatives. No, they've never been voted in our office. They never go vote for in our office inside Sierra Leone. They don't represent anything. Like, we know one day it's government money. I'm sure about that. But the people where they fed past the one themselves, we tasked with the responsibility. We're tasked with the constitutional mandate for protect with democracy. Lawyer Wuri and others and they speak up and talk about these issues. Them how Sierra Leone before day if we not get people like Lawyer Wuri and the other folks, them we get all these organizations where they stand up for defend the people of Sierra Leone. We no one they vote for them, they no one they stand and contest for elections. But we get the people where they elections. You know they read them in times like these. We don't know how to rely on the international community and all of that stuff. You know, it's so sad for we country. And it goes back to the point, America, they can't cry to wait for local help them. So we call on the Sierra Leone people or the West African people for help when I look down to come, they beat we. No. But we didn't know all the way they allow international community, all the way for go back to it, man. Where is this sense of independence? Who said we pull independence? This is the problem with Maleke we get today. We don't look with society. We get leaders the way they come in power just because they feel safe for candy for can chap because they see the other people in chap. But their responsibilities for stand up at a time like this. Look what the country, yang quiet. All of them silent. Yang, you know they hear nothing. But you get people like Wuri and others that will get for stand up now. They come and take this advocacy work for go meet them with my guy, for go back there again. Oh, they will say we get independence. Where is the independence? Now this one can say just better go back under the British rule or go back under American rule. Because where's the independence? We cannot even take care of ourselves. We don't for all elections them. We go say okay, this election I go the way for go. America we see them. If Donald Trump be getting way to go on this day, they sit down back the power. If Donald Trump be getting away. But the systems not allow them. They're not greedy. The people, them, the individual, they not say we get a responsibility, we get a mandate. The military team up, he said, Allah, you lie, bro. You use me. You this little what you have a plan where I feel sad to go to Washington, D.C., the parliament where you call me for go shoot protesters. Them. No, that's wrong. It's I not take no oath to a man, I take a oath to the Constitution. It stand. That is that integrity. They don't get no country. We don't get people who are willing for stand up and sacrifice for the lives of Sierra Leoneans.
When you become a partner in host, when you go married, the decisions that you make now, you marry those right now, you go ask them for me, can help you waiting for you?
Not really. I go sought guidance, but not really.
Absolutely. You copy from an experience, tap into an experience. But when it comes for you decision making, and you also surely I don't want to believe that it's not disrespect, not that you don't believe in waiting because you don't instill them in you over the years. And I know like 60 years we don't do under the guy there, but still they go back. This thing really annoy me. It really annoy me. International community me food.
Now this caused with the loss of these elections. We're not lost because APC not lost these elections. The people of Salona lost these elections. But it's part of the play where then people here in Sidom, instead of they attack the issues at the time, they say, the international community can't fight for we. The international community, they see, hey, look, you don't write reports. They say, we'll not trust NEC, we'll not trust PPRC, we'll not trust the judiciary, we'll not trust the police. Look, the international community. Now this is like a lackadaisical attitude. Now, and then Sidom Pante, instead of them stand up for themselves for protecting democracy, they say the international community. Look how we end now. If you say the international community can pull Mother under until we as a people take up actions, political actions, we go get rid of this guy out of that place there. Nothing is going to happen. Now so no more get for day. We they watch the play and see what you get for happy now. But not by God in power no more. But this is what they happen where we get leaders them we not even submit the responsibility. I say it again. We get people that go to positions of authority and power in that country there for the money, for good thief, not for improve the lives of the citizens, not for enhance the civic education of that country, let the people and become much more educated and informed. That is not what they're going there for. Then they go no more than no say, chap dinner, and they can get 20,000 allowance for housing, and they can get 5,000 wardrobe or medical allowance, and they can get 40 million euros a month. This is the problem we get. And then we, the same people, and they sit down and they extol, and then they praise, put them leaders down, on a pedestal where they don't deserve for Sidomon. In times like these, we have to defend with people, stand up for this democracy and say, wait it. But look at all sides, silent. You don't hear it themselves. Thank God for people like Laura, you worry them when they stand up now at this particular point in time for go let the world hear it. But again, we're fed up, we're tired. We get to a point we forget get done with this international community nonsense and stand up by ourselves and fix with systems and institutions them. We say we get independence. Why is the independence, bro? We don't for take care of ourselves today. We don't for handle ourselves properly with dignity and respect. But anyways, we make this about Lawyer Worry and the protest July 17th, everybody, within the United Kingdom, where say you didn't have capacity there, for do for come and join them. And nothing will go hold you back, nothing would stop you from doing it. If you could, join the Sierra Leoneans them, regardless of your political party affiliations or your region or whatever the case may be. Come out now for let you help them, for let we pass on this message to these folks that the United Kingdom really understand, say Sierra Leoneans are concerned. You see, because one thing what we know, Comrade and Kashi, I can tell you this, we look at what happened back in the 1991 brutal rebel war. When Ali Kaba and go to the Mataba, which I'll still calling him saying Ali Kaba, and I don't even know why Ali Kaba they freed today, but again, that is another question we'll go for ask until President Kurma go ask why. But we all understand, say, because of tolerance and all of that, now make delicate today, we'll get the situation we'll get. So the people that we cause with the crisis, cause with the war, cause with the problems, then they freed in the room, they're not cut their family, their hand, they're not cut their family, their food, they're not cut, they eat them, but then they about, then they enjoy, they reap back from Sierra Leone delicate today. We look at everything that happened. Albert Magai 1964 to 67, all the draconian laws them and rules that we can put in place. Shaka Stevens came in Sidon Param 28 years later and say, oh, we get up and they oppress we are suppressed. Then they attack we will not get freedom of speech, we will not get rights to protest. All of these things are expensive. The country there, all of that thing, then go to bush. Come 10 years later, destroy the lives of our people. Not can we go any side, not move anything anywhere. SLPP camp, the same SLPP people, they all been inside the RUF back. They all support the RUF and all that stuff. Then they look what they do with the democracy back. For take we go side, we don't come much long time ago where we say we don't go fight war. And make us say history. Representation of history. What history mean to we as a people? What history mean to we as Sierra Leoneans? People don't value history because if we value history, we're not going to go outside we go so and take this go to take so right now. Look what happened in Rwanda. All of these are the examples so they give what they come for talk to 1994. It began for take them a loss of over millions of lives. Over a million.
800,000 in 90 days, I recorded, but we take 100 days and lost 1 million lives, 75.
Exactly.
The question I asked, I already asked a lawyer, what in a PC, this guy for this particular test, or the test so now, this test, what in the implications or what in get for do to judiciary again? Because if we get for say we turn down this election, the judiciary get for play a part like how we don't say in Kenya, we say in Malawi or other part of the world. What if you say can happen to the judiciary? We me come recruiter or Ibrahim Okaspo not get confidence in. We not say that a mess. But what you feel as a lawyer, what you feel say you get for do? How they get for save the neck? How you look at the judiciary at this point? What you feel a role and responsibility for save this democracy? You as a lawyer now.
Yeah. So, in your pretext for ask the question, you mentioned again the situation where occur now. The Kenya Supreme Court nullified the presidential elections because they look at the call of the opposition that there is a need for organize a new elections. So the courts be able to upheld the petition with the opposition that now be Mr. Raila Odinga, where it be make to the Chief Justice David Maraga, where order the re-elections. So before we come to the implications for the judiciary of Sierra Leone, we'll go on for no force, waiting at this problem of political or a constitutional crisis. So the one key effect of a political or constitutional crisis and they lead to an administrative paralysis and where they cause a complete collapse of a government from having the legitimacy. That is, waiting at this legitimacy. The legitimacy itself, now the right of an acceptance of an authority, usually from the people. Like for instance, for me to be in the middle point of this conversation, I will make an example with Pakaba in elections in 1996, right? It was many people they say Kerry Fasmat actually was the winner of that, but I would say 60% of Sierra Leoneans were in support of Pakaba. And if you look at what Pakaba do later on, you go find out say it really work a lot for the country, and many people enjoy them. Many people then support them, and we get you can see if by that time, if you can recall, although we are little by then, but you go see international people are coming, the international community, although we don't know the name international community anymore because of the frustrations, but they were in support, and many funds. That is the effect of the international community. When the international community is in support of your government, you will see that there are a lot of projects where they come in and the people then they able get job opportunities, the people that they will get new development strategies. For instance, we get a lot of like the NASIT building was constructed and the NASIT program was implemented. Where that's now a very important thing for the pensioners and other things, tax collection of our country. And many other institutions were developed. I think that was where the platform for new was created, although it was established in 2000 and 2001 when the war be done now. Officially, but that was the platform, and that was set up by I think the United Nations Development Program. It was one of those things. So, in that sense, the concept itself, where we talk about, like we look at political science, the legitimacy of a government accepted by the people was developed by John Locke. Where in the trial for say the legitimacy is derived directly from popular explicit and implicit consent of the governed. And who are the governed? The people of Sierra Leone in this context. Absolutely. Yeah. So yes.
And that is actually embedded in the constitution as well, Woody. Section 5, subsection 2, stated clearly there. So I talk about say the government derives its legitimacy, its authority, and its power from the people. Just to buttress
that. Yeah.
Anyways, but I think we don't go far. Continue, my brother. We need 48 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so if I may just summarize, to crown it all, the political impasse, or as others might say, the political imbroglio, where the country they at this point, some other people their opinion is that Sierra Leone is sitting on a keg of gunpowder ready to explode at any time. I disagree with completely, and that is why we don't thought and fit say, okay, let we do a research on everything that has happened and let we try for support both all the people that matters, like the politicians, the political parties, the governments, the NEC, so that we go get a roadmap for escape some of them thoughts they are say the country get for go into the, because if you look at currently the reason we make you get for afraid for less Sierra Leone explode at this point, based on these political misbehaviors, the way they go on, is the fact that the development index of Sierra Leone is low, is very low there. You understand? And for the past year, we did very at the bottom of things. So imagine we have the crisis of wars going on with the Ukraine situation. We just came from the COVID pandemic. So all of these things have impact and effect. So if we allow this situation for deteriorate again to that level, then it's like there will be a really loss of chance for the young people the way they come up, or for Sierra Leoneans in particular. So we not go sit down now and say, okay, we'll wait for situation to coalesce to that level. No, we have to intervene as patriotic Sierra Leoneans. We have to intervene as concerned Sierra Leoneans. Be you SLPP, be you APC, be you NGC, be you PLP, be you any RUFP or whatever. Come join us. Let me get this platform. Engage the UK governments and parliamentarians, because they are moral guarantors. And already we don't get access to this Westminster model of waiting and we don't plan for the country of Sierra Leone. Let's go by that. Let's see how we can modernize that with recent happening and advancement, and see how Sierra Leoneans can work peaceably among each other, and we get a very beautiful country. So that is the rationale or the reasoning behind the efforts they try for put. We are not politicians. We are not interested in governing in that country. No. We are interested in safekeeping the country and making it beautiful and prosperous again. So that is the essence of everything that we're working behind the scenes for.
Thank you. Kashi Comrade, any closure on that?
I think we don't say it's all. No, just encourage everybody to say the 17th will be a very special day for all come out and try for at least make sure see voice be heard. The Democrats in a saloon for the reverse. Just that.
Absolutely.
Again, the question we the try for emphasize like it's a political organization and a protest. It has nothing to do with SLPP and APC, but guarantee for sure. Again, this have to do with like civic education, where people start to put again Section 5 of the Constitution. Like people are to put the country way ahead of like the political parties and tribes. But we know, like
Section 13B. 13B.
Section 13. Thank you. You see, like no matter how we see them, these SLPP folks are not going to come out. If you see, like that dance to the dance. However, maybe like since the announcement of the election to date or to the 17th, right, they will say reason and say, okay, you know what, let me be patriotic for once in my life. But you see, Ibrahim, let's call on the people. Again, not only we get to deal with like the SLPP folks that maybe say no nonsense, that's all they will talk. And then you also get the faction within like the liberals. I think like they will come out. But like the APC people, them like they will, in fact, for the fact that like this platform is talking about it now, they'll be like, no, we're not going there. Even though it is a good cause. It is the mentality, Ibrahim. It is the mentality. Salon until like I believe like we Salon needs serious overhaul. Make no mistake about it. Because like I guarantee you, even like the APC people that were clearly the election was rigged, just because now this platform talk about it. If you don't think the name must say, just because of that. This is the culture we're embedded in our society that we need to get rid of, Ibrahim. And this cause is a very, very good cause, because trust me, without democracy, we don't take say that in the Bible to the running of the country. Without democracy, Ibrahim, there will be no economic growth. There will be suffering in that country. It will continue, Ibrahim. So until we deal with that, the kind mentality that we're far away from achieving our goals. Anyway, that's it.
We want to take this opportunity again for thank Lawyer Wuri and the team of concerned Sierra Leoneans there, because of all these sacrifices when they make. Again, Lawyer Wuri, not a government official, ever eats government money. This man is a lawyer in the United Kingdom. What he care? If he can care less, more salon wahala. But these are the kinds of citizens who will get with patriotic and then they think about the interest of their country and they love their country. That is why they do what they do. So thanks to them for putting all this together. It makes our lives a lot more better. And I would say people will come out and support them, with this protest, so that the word would be out there and the world will know exactly what's in the happen in our country. Too small, beautiful country for all the parties foolishness. 7 million people plus. I mean, come on now, we deserve better. Anyways, with the left and I'm everybody have a beautiful day. Bye bye.